Welcome to this short demonstration of the powerful lead scoring engine available for free on the App Exchange. Once you've located the App Exchange, appexchange.salesforce.com, you can simply go and click Get It Now to get the application and click until the application is installed. The one thing that you will need to do manually is to go into Leads, and on the search layout you'll need to take the set of scoring and add it in so that it can be seen. Standard Salesforce installation security does not allow us to put it there automatically. Then on the lead, one of the things you need to do before you start setting up the scoring rules is you need to figure out what the fields that you want to use and the values, including applicable values that you want to use. Now that you're ready to set the scoring, I have preset up a Scotsman lead scoring methodology example. If you're going to be using a cumulative methodology, you need to remember to reset the field at the start. The rules are executed in order. The first section is the set of criteria based on comparisons. As you can see from this example, if a certain pick list value is set, we add an amount in the final score. If you want to add additional criteria, simply use this criteria area at the top. The active is already pre-selected. Select the field that you want. Note that you can drill down to the fields in other records by following their links, similar to the way that you would do in a view. You can select from a variety of operators. Between first means that you're starting with the first value is included in the set where the last value is not. And one of the unique things you can do here is you can select a value or a field. So you can do a field-to-field comparison, which you cannot do in a view lookup. So you can simply set it to a field and it brings up the field list for you again. You can then choose this scoring value. So the score does not have to be the field that comes out of the box, the score rate or the lead score. It can be any field within the object that you're looking at. So you can set it to work on priority. You can work it on. You can even do cumulative stuff and add to the description field as well as you learn information. In addition, you can put, if you're using a field that has a time value to it, you can do equals today or equals now, or you can also do in the next n days and put a number, for example, like 7. These sort of constants work in the value to compare with date structures. Also, if you choose a field which is a pick list, such as budget, you will see that the pick list then is shown to you in the values section automatically. This adds to greater data quality. Once you've filled out the scoring field that you want to use, you can do a set to, or you can do an add. If you set it to add, it's going to do the cumulative. So you can see in my example down here, the very first row sets it to 0, okay, so that the score starts with a 0. After that, we add to it. So we add 5, depending upon which one of the pick list values within this field is set, we add. So this Scotsman is a cumulative score that you're trying to get to, and when you get to a certain level, that's when your salespeople should go out and start pursuing it actively. So let's just do a simple set to value of 0, and you can also put in here your rationale for putting these things in, sort of like a little comment. And if you do an add rule up here, you will see down here that that rule has been added down here. If you need to update a rule, just click on the checkbox in front of the rule and it will reappear in this top section. You can then change it and do an update. One thing to remember at this point is when you're making these adds and updates like this has not been saved out into the database at this point. If you want to actually make this change, you need to click quick save, and that will leave you on this page but save the information. If you do a save all, it will save this page and return you back to your home page. If a rule is no longer needed or valid, you can uncheck the active box and do an update on it and then hit quick save and it will no longer appear. It will still be there if you want to bring it back for some reason. If you decide later that you really want it back, you can click this little box here that shows active only and unclick it and it will show you all the inactive rules. So you might be able to bring one back or change it around to do what you want to do. Remember that these rules are executed in order. One new additional feature that we have here that you will not find in any part of Salesforce is actually to apply functions to these fields. If budget, for example, contained a prefix or suffix that we wanted to get off in order to compare, we could do a substring in here starting on, let's say it's a prefix from 4 to length, meaning the entire length of the string, and so it only takes from characters 4 through the end. When comparing fields, you can go up to 5 levels down for doing comparisons. In addition to the simple criteria base, you can get into much more complicated sort of criteria. So there's an additional section down here where you can use to write equations. But if we wanted to take the example above and turn it into a BANT type model, BANT starts for budget, authority, need, and time frame. So budget is 20 and 27, which would be the authority, N would be establishing the need, and either 12 or 13 14 establishes the time frame. That would be our condition for establishing the band. And then we could in this case, we could set the rating field to, for example, to hot when all these conditions are true. And then you would simply add the equation and remember just to click Quick Save. Quick Save is recommended after any time that you've added or updated them so that you don't accidentally migrate off the page and lose what you're working on. You can also use nots in here. So for example, if we wanted to say not, you can say and, ors, or nots, and the use of parentheses. And you use the number of the adjacent to the left of the rule that you're pointing at. In addition, sometimes all you want to do is evaluate a criteria, but you don't want to actually set a score value at this point because the score is much more complicated than that. Then you can use the none operator and it will not write anything into that score value. It just helps you to keep track of the fact that this is related to particular score values, since you can have it scoring into multiple fields at the same time, which is another unique feature. One of the other things that you can do is you can schedule the scoring engine to run weekly or daily to reschedule the score in case anything changes on a referenced object. The same powerful scoring engine is available for any other standard objects or custom objects, or even for objects from a different supplier. Just give us a call about what you need. Also, additional function operators available upon request. The rules engine can be used for other things beyond lead qualification scoring, including doing tax classification on products to avoid over or under payment on taxes, for example. Please read the installation and configuration guide on the App Exchange listing under resources for additional information. And thank you for your time.